So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to everyone. So, for today, we will have a fact-checking interview, which is our topic is cosplay. So, my name is Muhammad Danish bin Zulkornain, and my partner is Jesseryl Maxwell. So, this interview is for our assignment, which is intercultural pragmatics. So today we have a guest, which is Kaida Takeshi. Thank you for having us. So how are you today? Are you okay?
I am actually very tired. I had a long day of classes, but I'm actually very happy to be here.
Oh, thank you for your time.
No problem.
So let's move to the first question.
Okay, so as for the first question, before starting anything, can you introduce yourself briefly? And basically, can you tell us why you're the right subject for interview?
Okay, so hi everyone. Again, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the invite. And my name is Kaida Takeshi. So basically, you can just call me Kaida because the last name is too long. So I go by Kaida or K, anything that's comfortable with you. And I feel like I'm the right subject for the interview is because I have a modern outlook since I haven't been a cosplayer for so long, but so far the time I've been a cosplayer, I have like a lot of insights on the new gen or the new scene of the cosplay community and might not be the same as people who have been cosplaying for years. So I think I have some interesting facts and like experience to share.
All right, so that's wonderful to hear. And with that, without further ado, we're going to move with our very first fact-checking question, which is what inspired you to cosplay?
So basically, for me, I started cosplaying very early, but I didn't do like a whole outfit thing. I used to do only like makeup. I like try to dress up with like my characters, and it made me so happy because like, oh, I look like this character. It was like so fun. And then after that, I had friends who told me like, oh, you should do this character, and it got me thinking like me cosplaying let them feel or let them meet and interact with the characters of their choice. So after like I could like make my friends happy, I started like thinking, oh, I can do this like more, like go to events and make people happy. And honestly, so far after like I've cosplayed certain characters, I I actually had one person, like this girl, she came up to me, I was cosplaying, she started crying because she was so happy to meet the character. And I was like, I was in shock. That has never happened. And I was like, oh my God, are you okay? And that was like the happiest moment of my life. And I think that's one of the point where I started like thinking, oh, I'm gonna continue cosplaying.
I see. All right. So that's a very, very like interesting way, to start cosplaying. And with that, we can move on with the second question, which is related to the first question, which is, do you feel like a different person when you're cosplaying? And has cosplaying itself made you feel better or made you feel like you're a better person?
Does cosplay make me feel like a different person? I would have to say yes, actually, because when you cosplay, you're not just like dressing up. It's not dressing up, actually. It's you are portraying a certain character. So I don't think a lot of people understand that because I've had some people tell me like, oh, you're just wearing some costume. I was like, no, I am this character. I am this certain character. So I have to act like that character. So I have had so many personality that I had to learn. So it has made me change the way I speak, change the way like I talk to people. And cosplaying actually really made me feel so much better because I used to be I have a very like mean looking face, so people would not interact with me a lot. So when I started cosplaying, I tend to like smile more and I talk more, so it made me a lot more friendlier. And I have achieved like I've made so many friends from it. So if I never started cosplaying, I probably would have like 10 friends at most. So I loved that I started cosplaying because it seriously helps you in building connections and like help with your communication skills.
All right. So with that, let's ask you a different question. So since you said that you were new to this, so what or who do you like to cosplay the most, and why is it that you like to cosplay that character the most?
Okay, so for me, I think I've only done like 10 or like 15 cosplays at most from this year. But if you ask me my most favorite, it would have to be Temari from Naruto. She was actually the hardest character I had to cosplay because I'm a hijabi cosplayer, I had to learn her hairstyle and turn it into a hijab style. And it was the most stressful thing I've ever did. But it was so rewarding because when I went to the event, she just made me feel like I was the main character. I was the scene. Like everyone was looking at me because it's not an easy thing to do. Like her outfit is not easy at all. And she carries this big fan, which is so heavy. And I had to learn how to like wheel that fan for almost a month. So I had to learn beforehand. It was just like not me just deciding to cosplay. I had to learn the way she acts properly. I had to learn how she used her weapons, and she just made me feel so powerful. And every time people see me, that's like the it cosplay. They're like, oh, Kaida, oh, she's a Temari cosplayer, right? So she has made a name for me. She was the reason people remember me.
I see. Right. So Temari is definitely one character we can say it's very nostalgic to a lot of people, since I think a lot of us, including me myself and Danish here, we grew up watching Naruto. So it's kind of like, when we see people being able to like cosplay these things, definitely it makes us, it takes us back to a certain period of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that, can we ask you to explain about basically the cosplaying scene in Malaysia in your perspective or in your view?
Okay, so I'm sure like since you guys are into anime too, I know like there's like a bunch of news, especially bad ones about cosplaying lately. There's so many like harassment issues, there's so many stalking issues. And I feel like the scene right now is not its peak, it's not the best. Like it could be better, but it's interesting. Like there's so many new people into it, and there's so many new like characters and new ideas that people bring into the scene. And also I like how in Malaysia especially, they like to dress up with like the baju Melayu and like baju kurung with their characters, and it's so cute. I feel like that them adding such like the Malaysian twist to the character is very cool to me. And even though the scene right now is not very safe, I guess, because people are looking at it as like a bad influence because of these little news. So we get looked down a lot, and especially right now we're getting. Personally, for me, I think me and my friends, since we're new gen cosplayers, we get a little hate from the old generation cosplayers because I don't know, we don't see the same ideals, like we don't have the same beliefs or concepts that they had when they started cosplaying, or we don't get the support that they have in their community. So I feel like it's hard for new generations and old generations to interact right now, which is it makes me feel bad because I really want to talk to them. They're really cool because they've been in the scene for so long, and I feel like they can help make the cosplaying environment in Malaysia right now so much better.
I see. All right. So with that, since we've talked about scenes, and you've witnessed a lot of you talked about two different generations, or you can say the new gen and the old gen. So with that, can we ask you how many cosplay events have you been to, and which one do you like the most?
Cosplay events I've been to, I honestly cannot count because I go to one every single week and I go on both days, like every single weekend. And I think last month I went to one every single week. So that was like 4 events in like 1 month and 2 days each event. So I did not get rest at all during the weekend. Like I go to classes on the weekdays and straight out at events on the weekends, and I do it again for the whole month. But for me, which one I like the most, I would have to say, so far right now, I really like ACG Festivus, the one in Chiras. And because I think the organization of that event was very good, everything was very proper. And even though the mall was like dead because there was no shops, like it was a dying mall, everything was closed. But they organized everything so perfectly that everyone could have a good time and everyone could like fashion in an orderly manner, and it was easy access to go in and out. Like you don't really have to queue, you don't have to wait, and there was aircon, which was great because we are always sweating in cosplay, so I love that.
I see. All right, for the remaining questions, my partner Danish will ask you for the rest lah. Right.
Okay, Jamie. So for the next question, what are the kinds of people that you meet during the cosplaying event?
Okay, kind of people. I love this question actually. I love it so much because you meet so many people at events, and especially as a cosplayer, people will always come up to you. And the types of people I meet range from very friendly to very weird. There's like a thin line between that. So I've had friendly people who actually turned out still being my friends, for like one of my closest friends actually, because of cosplay. And they usually you will get to meet friendly people, you get to meet people who will give you tips, you also get to meet people who will probably ask you where you get your cosplays. They'll be like, oh, can you tell me where this is from, and but like I think my most favorite type of people is when they ask me for tips. Like they're like, hey, how did you do that one, or like how did you make your prop? And I love telling them. I'll be like, oh, I saw this myself, or I made this prop myself, or like, oh, this I had to look at this tutorial, that's interesting. But there are also, of course, like uncomfortable like scenarios where I've had people harass me for my personal information at like events, and they would not leave until I like run away or like go away. I've also had like stalkers, obviously, like would follow me from like the train station if I'm going by train till the event hall and will not just leave me alone. So it's not all good, but the good still is more than the bad. So I think it's still a plus.
Oh, so you met with many kinds of people during the.
There's so many.
I hope you after this you will meet good people only.
Thank you.
So for the next question, do you see cosplaying as a future? Will you be a full-time cosplayer?
Cosplaying, to me, I see a future in it. Like I will continue doing it and I want to continue doing it, but as a full-time cosplayer, I would say no, because personally right now I am trying to pursue a life of like writing, and I'm hoping to be like a script writer or like a book or novelist. So maybe I can like write a script for an anime one day. Who knows? But like full-time cosplayer, probably not, because I have another dream, like I said, but I will obviously continue doing it. And if possible, I want my kids to continue cosplaying. I want to like be in my generation. I don't want to stop doing it because it makes me like so happy, and it gives me like an escape from reality and like life for a while. So I would not stop doing it.
Yes, some people use be cosplayer to express their self, right?
Yes.
So without waste any time, we move to the 8th question. So why do you think it's important to separate your personal life?
Okay, this question I think is very important because as a cosplayer, like I say, we have like uncomfortable situation where we are harassed or stalked. So if we don't separate that, it's so easy for us to be targets of like these types of things. And actually from my own experience, even though I've tried my best, I feel like I don't mix my personal life at all. There are times when I still face these things. And there was this one time when I was at a mall. It was not an event. I was just hanging out at a mall and I got a DM saying from this random person saying that he sees me like at this mall and he said what I was wearing and stuff. So he was following me and I was like, oh my God. I literally did not even post it like I was at the mall. So I was like, how do you even know? Like, why are you here? And it was so uncomfortable. And I've had people who somehow found where I was studying and like would search into my like life history and they want to know everything about me and they would like threaten me to know about it. So I tried to create a barrier with cosplaying and real life because like I said, it's my escape from reality. So if I mix it, then I'm not escaping. I'm just diffusing it with my personal life. So there's no wall in between it. So when I'm Kaida, I'm Kaida. When I'm in my personal life, I'm my personal life. I don't want it to mix.
So thank you for expressing your opinion. I think it's important to separate your personal life.
Yes.
So let's move to the next question. Can you explain of your cosplay name, its significance and also its meaning?
So for this question, actually, it's a very funny story because while I was searching for a cosplay name, this name had nothing to do with my name at all. And when I was trying to search for a name, I tried to relate it with my own name, but none of it like stick to me. None of it makes sense. So a friend said, "Oh, why don't you just like do copy a character's name that fit your character?" But I didn't want to copy. But I like the part where she said fits a character, so fits my character. So I decided to choose a cosplay name that would fit my personality. And like I said, I have like a mean looking face and I was like very quiet. I was a quiet person and reserved. So I decided to find a name that would like reflect that. So I chose Kaida Takeshi. Kaida basically means dragon and Takeshi means like like a warrior. Kaida means little dragon, sorry. And Takeshi means warrior. So if you like say it in English, it means little dragon warrior. So it has a cute ring and also it describes me very much because like I'm not a full grown dragon, like I'm not scary, but I'm not that nice, you know? And also I like to fight for myself and like I try to build my own image and stuff. So I feel like that's like a warrior personality. So I really liked it. So that's when I saw Kaida Takeshi, I was like, okay, this is mine. Like I have to have it.
It has a cute meaning behind its name.
Thank you.
So let us move to the last question. So since you're Muslim, do you feel restricted to cosplay? And also, what are your thoughts on Muslim cosplayer? And do you think that they might receive hate or backlash from it? And also why?
Okay, so for starters, I would have to like put out there I'm not modest in any way. Like I wear a hijab, and it was my own choice, but only because it made me feel nice. I like styling my hijab, but I don't do it because I want to be modest or anything. Even when I dress, I still dress in like tight clothes and stuff. And when I'm cosplaying, even though I dress like that, I still feel restricted because there are some like cosplays which I want to do, but I can't do it because it's too revealing, or sometimes there's like meanings like related to other religions to it that I can't do because of my religion, and also because there are like how to say, they give off like a certain image that is not good for my religion. So of course there's going to be restriction for it, and it's so hard for me, but I try my best to like change it in my own way. So even though that character does not give like a good portrayal, I try to change it for my own version. So I like to different versions of the character. So I try to not make it feel restricting. And what are my thoughts on Muslim cosplayers? Oh my god, I love them so much. Like they are amazing. And I love to see hijabi cosplayers. They are so creative because it's not easy. It's so hard. And even like for you to style your hijab on a daily basis, some people have to watch tutorials for it. Okay. So you doing something like that is just awesome. And I love seeing it. And I feel like more people should be doing it. I have some friends who are like, they just give up and like wear wigs, but I'm like, no, please be hijabi cosplayers. I want to see so I can like copy your style. Like I want to see your style so I can like see it like as reference, because I still don't know a lot. So I would like to learn from other people too. So that's why I want more hijabi cosplayers on the scene, and they are also amazing and they're so creative, and it makes me so happy when I see them. And do I think we might receive backlash or hate? The answer is yes. And the worst part is sometimes it's from hijabis themselves, you know, like hijabis would comment on my videos and be like, you are a bad example, or they'll be like, you are an embarrassment. And I'm like, why are you here? Like, I'm trying to make other people happy. I really don't want your hate. And I've actually got like a message from an old generation cosplayer who said that I was not giving off a good like portrayal of my religion as a hijabi cosplayer. But the problem is it was only because I was wearing a skin colored inner, which didn't even match my skin color. Like you could see it was not my skin color. So I did not see why that was a problem at all. But she just hated it, and she even asked me to take my post down, which I did not do. And that just made me feel so bad. And I was like, I think for the whole week I could not do any content, because I was, of course you're gonna expect support from other hijabi cosplayers or other hijabis. Then I hope when I cosplay for these hijabis to be like, oh, I hope I can like be like her. I hope I can do what she does. But when you get hate from hijabis, you feel like, oh, I'm not doing a good job. Like I'm not inspiring enough for you to follow, or I'm not giving a good impression of myself. And it's terrible because you're trying your best and it's just not, you know, what you want, and it's disappointing sometimes.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Yeah, I think nowadays people need to accept this culture in Malaysia to grow and become more open-minded to new culture. So that's all from us. There is no question. We really appreciate your time and effort to cooperate with us and complete our assignment. We are we really glad because you could share your experience, your knowledge with us, and we also hope that after this your dream will become true, and the culture of the cosplay in Malaysia will become more bigger and be accepted by all people without any prejudice. So thank you and see you next time.
You're welcome. I hope I did a good job, and I hope you guys ace your assignment. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Right. So as for my part too, I would like to say thank you, because it wasn't easy, to find like subjects, but you really proved that you were the best subject for our assignment. And yeah, so with that, I think we can end the interview.
So we stop here. Thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Oh, Kasim dah stop record ke?